Hello, welcome everyone, welcome back to my channel. Well, today we are doing simultaneous equation, or you can say linear equations in two variables, and we are looking into the graphical method. We have already covered the elimination method and the substitution method, and here we are seeing how we can solve it graphically. So as the name suggests, graphically, that means we first have to graph it on paper. Let's see this one. If we have suppose two equations, the first equation be x plus y is equals to 3 and 2x plus y is equals to 4. Then we have to find the values. Algebraically, we can do by substitution or by elimination, but graphically, we first have to plot the graph. Suppose this is the grid and let me draw x-axis and y-axis. There are two ways by which you can plot a straight line. The first thing is a simple box method. A simple box method, that means we are supposed to draw a box here. We have to select the value of x and we need to put the values of y according to whatever this equation we have. It's totally on us. Let me take 3 negative values and 3 positive values. So it's -1, -2, 1, 2. I have taken these four values. Now for this equation, obviously the value of y is different for different equation because we have to substitute the value of x. We have to plug the values of x. So let me start plugging one by one. I'm starting with x equals -1. So I'm repeating what I'm doing. This is a box method. This is a method by which you can plot any type of graph. Simple, you have to make a graph, a table. You have to select the values of x on your own. For a straight line, I think 3 points are more than enough. So I have taken 4 points here. And then as this variable is called independent variable, you can pick any value of x, it's on you. Y is called dependent variable because whatever the value of x you have selected, the y will come out to be according to it. Our equation is x plus y equals 3. I'm focusing only on this equation as of now. So when I substitute the value of x as -1 here, so it will be -1 plus y equals 3 and y equals 4. So when x equals -1, y is 4. Then let me plug the value of x as -2. So on putting -2 here, -2 plus y equals 3. So y is 5. Well, I told you, even 2 points will work in case of a straight line, not for any other graph. But let me plug the next one, x equals 1. When I plug x equals 1, 1 plus y equals 3. So y is 2. Next is on plugging x equals 2. So 2 plus y equals 3 and y is equals to 1. Now let me plot these values. Now we have all the values. We just need to plot these coordinates. So when x is -1, y is 4. Here I'm encircling this. So our coordinates are -1, 4. Let me just name this one here. So I can say this point be 1, this point. You can take any gap. I'm just taking a space of 3 blocks. And here, similarly, I'll complete the other. So first point is -1, 4. So -1x is here and y4 is here. So my first point is this. -2, 5. So -2 and then 5. So it will be here. For x equals 1, it's 2. So x equals 1, y is 2 here. and when x equals 2, y is 1. So, I'm sorry, 1, so it will be 2, and at 2, it's 1. And now we have to join all the points together and we'll get a straight line. So let me join it. Okay, so this is straight line. Obviously it's not perfect because it's not allowing me to draw a straight line here on this graph. So that's why I had to draw with my hands. Okay, similarly, moving on to the next one, 2x plus y equals 4, and we have to do exactly the same thing. That means making a table. So I'm just making a table and selecting some random values. I'm just taking 3 values only. Let's say -1, 0, and 3. I've just picked random numbers. Or we can pick 2 as well, whatever is more convenient, or 4. So x equals -1. Our equation is 2x plus y equals 4. On substituting the value of x as -1, this will be -2 plus y equals 4. So y is equals to 6. Then put x equals 0 here, y will be 4 clearly. And on putting x equals 4, we'll get 8 or y equals -4. So we have these 3 points, -1, comma 6. So at -1, it's 6 here, 0, 4 here, and 4, comma -4. So 4 and then comma -4, it would be here. And now I need to join them together. So on plotting these straight lines, wherever they are intersecting, why we are finding the intersection of both the points? Because simultaneous equations are the equations which will give you the same value. On putting the value of x and y, you will get the same value of x and y in both the cases. So that's called system of linear equations, or we can say simultaneous equations. That's the meaning of it. So here we are finding the intersection point because that's the only point where the both lines share the same coordinate, and that has to be their intersecting point. And the intersecting point is lying here. You can clearly see this one, which is 1, 2. So the solution of this one is going to be x equals 1 and y is equals to 2. This is the solution of these equations. Now let me do another question. It says solve the following simultaneous equations by graphical method. It's 2y x equals 3 and 3y plus x equals 2. So same thing, we first have to plot this equation on the graph, and then we'll see where they are intersecting. Wherever these lines will intersect will give you the solution. So I'm starting with plotting 2y minus x equals 3. So 2y minus x equals 3, and we will be doing same by this table method. That means selecting the values of x and then finding the corresponding values of y. So let me pick the value of x be. So first value is, let's say it be -1. So what I'm doing, the simpler way, you can directly substitute here and get the value of y, or you can do like this. 2y is equals to 3 plus x. I have just transposed x there and divide both the sides by 2. You'll get 3 plus x over 2. So in this way, I made y the subject, and now it's very easy for me to substitute the values one by one and get the corresponding values of y. So when x is equals to -1, y would be 3 plus -1, as x is -1, over 2. So 3 minus 1 is 2, and 2 over 2 is 1. That means at x equals -1, I'll get y as 1. For the next one, when x is equals to say 1, it's not necessary that you have to pick these values. You can pick any value of x and you have to find corresponding values of y just substituting the value of x in the given equation. Now this would be y is equals to 3 plus 1 over 2 and 4 over 2 is 2. So your answer would be 2. So when x is equals to 1, y is 2. Now for the next one, x is equals to 5, let's say, or we can pick a little smaller value, let's say 3. When x is equals to 3, y is equals to 3 plus 3 over 2, which is 6 over 2, and that is 3. So now I think if you are plotting a straight line, 2 or 3 coordinates are more than sufficient to plot it. So now the third and the last one is 3 and 3. Similarly, I am plotting the other equation, which is 3y plus x equals 2. So here I'm plotting 3y plus x equals 2, and I'm doing same thing. That means we have to do it in a similar manner. How I did, I have made y the subject previously, so transpose x there. 3y is equals to 2 minus x, and divide both the sides by 3. Y is equals to 2 minus x over 3. Thus you have made y the subject. Now let me select some values. Okay, let me put x is equals to -4. Well, I'm selecting this specifically, these like -4, because I know if I put 0 in place of x, it would be 2 over 3. I'm gonna have a fractional number, and to plot a fractional number on a graph is not very easy, and especially 2 over 3. So that's why I have selected -4, because this will give me y is equals to 2 minus -4 over 3. That means this will become 2 plus 4 over 3. So 6 over 3 will give me 2. That means on substituting -4, I will get an integer, which is more desirable because it's easy to plot it on a graph. So at x is equals to -4, y will be 2. Similarly, the next value that I'm going to select is, let's say, -1. So this will be 2 minus -1 over 3, which is 2 plus 1 is 3 over 3, that is 1. That means at x equals -1, I'll get y as 1. For the third one, I am selecting x equals 5. So 2 minus 5 over 3. So -3 over 3 is -1. So at 5, I'll get -1. Now, once I'm done with finding all the values, the last thing is we have to plot it on the graph. Plotting just we did in the previous question. That means just find those coordinates and then join all of them. It will give you the straight line. That means these 3 points, when I plot, I'll get my one straight line, which is 2y minus x equals 3. And for these values, I'll get my another equation, which is 3y equals 2 minus x. After plotting, I'll get the graph like this. Variable interest is -1, 1. This is a solution of this simultaneous equation. Moving on to our third question. It says find the equation of the following straight lines and find the solution. Well, here you have to find the equations first and also the solution. Solution is definitely where these two lines are intersecting. So let me start with finding the equations of both the lines. They have given line A and B. So let me start with finding A. So equation of A is whenever you're finding the equation of any straight line, it always starts with writing the standard equation or a slope form equation, y is equals to mx plus c. We have to find m and c, slope and y-intercept. Look this equation, the straight line A, this one. Clearly, y-intercept is 4 because this straight line is intersecting y at 4. So, C is 4. Very easy. Next, we have to find the gradient. Gradient is change in y over change in x. This is 0, 4 and this is 2, 0. And gradient is, the formula to calculate gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Change in y over change in x. Why? You can pick or select any coordinate as x1, y1 and another as x2, y2. So let me select this one as x1, y1 or this one as x2, y2. So from here I can see y2 is 0 minus 4 over x2 is 2 minus 0. This will give you minus 4 over 2, that is negative 2. Your gradient is negative 2 and your y-intercept is 4. Just substitute the value here and you will get the equation for straight line A. So A is y is equals to minus 2x plus 4. This is our straight line. For part B, exactly we have to do the same thing. That means y is equals to mx plus c. So for B, it would be y is equals to mx plus c. And I have to find same, that is y-intercept and the gradient. Y-intercept, clearly you can see that it is cutting y-axis at 2. So your c is 2. And we'll calculate gradient with exactly y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This coordinate is 3, 0 and this is 0, 2. So y2 minus y1, I am thinking this one as x1, y1 and this as x2, y2. Then y2 minus y1 is 2, 0 and x2 minus x1 would be 0, 3 and my answer is negative 2, 3. So y-intercept is 2 and gradient is negative 2 over 3. I need to substitute this value. I'll get y is equals to minus 2 over 3x plus 2. This is my final equation. So we got the equation of A, we got the equation for B. And the third, they were asking to find the equation of each straight line, that we did. And the solution is where they are intersecting. Find their solution. Their solution, that means the combined solution, where they are intersecting. They are intersecting at this point, and this point is clearly y is 1 here and x is at the mid of it. That means this coordinate is 1.5, 1. So I can say solution for this graph is solution x is equals to 1.5 and y is equals to 1. So in graphical method, what all you have to do is you have to see where the two straight lines are intersecting, because simultaneous equation means the number of equations that they share the same value of variables. That means here we have two equations. In this case, you can see clearly we have two equations, so set of linear equations, and they have variables, some number of variables. In this case, there are two variables, x and y. So there are two different equations, but the value of x and y is exactly the same for both of these equations, and that can be only possible where the straight lines are meeting. Why? Because you can see on first equation, this one, on this straight line, every point is different. On this straight line, every point is different. So where we can find a common value of x and y? Where they meet, because where they are meeting, here they are sharing the same value of x and y. That's why we have to find their intersection. So we are doing just basics here, but we will be doing harder questions. But for those harder questions, these basics are very important. So that's it for today. Well, as I say in my every video, if you want to enroll for one-on-one classes or for group classes for set, you can enroll. The classes are at just $7 per hour. If you want to access the free worksheets, they are available on exacademy.com. And if you want to purchase the set mock papers or PSAT mock papers, all you need to do is just drop us an email at exactacademy@gmail.com and you will get the papers at a very reasonable price. So that's it for today. Thank you. Have a great day.